First of all, we would like to thank you all for inviting us to give us the opportunity to show the work we have done with AI. We have a joke just before, and the LiDAR data with you. The work with the AI and the cultural heritage is in the Swedish forest. It's a part of a governmental assignment that runs until 2027. Let me see. Here is the government assignment. And it's both for the cultural heritage and for the nature. And it's a guide to user, and it will be open and free, so it will cost nothing. And it's ongoing. And you can read more about it. I would not spend my time on it. And why is this so important? The reason is in the loss of the cultural heritage in Sweden in the forest due to forestry. We have every year we made an inventory of the damages. And in 2024, 11% of the known cultural heritage sites were damaged by the forestry. And how big the loss is for the unknown, we don't know. So this project is very valuable to find some more cultural heritage. And my role in this, I'm only an archaeologist with not so great mind, so I will leave my presentation now to the big brains behind this project, with Patrick and Johan, who has been working with the AI and with the DEES project. So please, Johan and Patrick.
Okay. Yeah, we have so much data at our image server. We have thousands of aerial photos, satellite images, different land classifications, and so on. But when it comes to detecting cultural heritage sites, we mainly use the digital elevation model. We have big use of the image server since we can combine and extract the data as we want. It's only nationwide data sets. So it's perfect when we extract the training data and running the big scale inferences. In Sweden, we have 2 nationwide laser scanning campaigns. The first one was 15 years ago, and the point density was about 1 point per 2 square meters. And the second laser campaign was completed last year, I think, and the point density in that one is 2 points per every square meter. It's not even close to the resolution we heard earlier this morning, like 70 or something like that. But still, it's very useful for detecting the areas. We will have a closer look into the different cultural objects we have detected during the years. We have the charcoal pits, and we have the trapping pits, and we have some more objects as well. But first, Johan will tell us more about training the model.
Yeah, so we've applied AI on different objects of interest. But I think first we have a little quick walkthrough of how we train AI models. So to train an AI model, we need a training data set. And a training data set consists of training samples. And a training sample, I forgot to mention that it's AI on image data that we applied on. And it consists of the image that the AI model is going to analyze. And we have a annotation to that image. So in this case, we have overlapping annotations on forest. So if we have a training data set with image like this, we wanted to learn about the patterns of how forest looks. So we can annotate other objects or areas of interest and train a model to make it learn the pattern that we wanted to find. Okay, so it requires us to annotate the training data set manually, and it takes much time. And it's not that the first training data set that we gather is going to be perfect. We often find some kind of problems, like it's gonna miss some and gonna get some false positives. So we have a process where we make the training data set better in iterations. First, sorry, I just pressed. First, we train the model on the initial data set. And then we gonna need to evaluate the model. And here we're gonna find the problems. But if the model is somewhat good in what it's meant to do, we can use it as a sort of the co-pilot and make it predict or annotate new objects, because it might be good at the easy objects, but some objects it might be more difficult for it. So what we have to do when it has annotate, we're going to have to verify and remove those that is false positives, and also add those that it missed. So we bring this back into the training data set, and we do another round, and it's going to be less and less human interference for each time. And at some point we're going to have a model that's good enough for the work. So Patrick.
Yes, the charcoal pits was the first thing we tried to detect. It was like 5 years ago. We used object detection, and we found about 100,000 new charcoal pits in Sweden. So it was a big news coverage in TV and newspapers and radio. We even got some top 100 award from the Royal Swedish Academy of Science. Yeah, so it was a big thing. And we can see to the right, we have the hotspots in Sweden, and it aligns very well with the major ironworks and industrial sites, with a big need for charcoal in the past. Then we have the trapping pits. We've used both object detection and segmentation for this detection. And it was about 2 years ago we finished this one. Found a lot of new systems, and we also see that the registered objects in the cultural database, they have often an offset, systematic, or it could be shifting like 5, 10, 20 meters. So we have this autumn, any week now, I think we will have a field visit. We have consultants that will visit some random, I don't know how many?
About 400.
200?
400.
400, yeah. Randomly selected detections, so we can have some statistical identification of the accuracy. Yeah, you can actually see this is the registered objects in the database, and you can see the actual location is northeast of them. This one is better, more correct. So it becomes a problem when we cannot use the registered objects as training data straight away. We need to make sure they are in the correct place. And for this we have custom web application. Yes, so we can easily make sure that we have good annotations, so we can filter objects that Cecilia can annotate a few hundreds, and then we can complete with the semi-auto annotation. Let's go on. We have the clearance cairn. This we tried last year. Yeah. It's simply when you clear the soil from rocks, put them in big stone piles to make it easy to farm and plow. This was ages ago, and this could be relatively large areas. So we need some different methods, bigger approach, and the same thing here. You can see the annotations, the delineation of the area is not very good. So Cecilia have done a great job to correct them, so we can have good training data.
Yeah, so a big strength in this is to have better edges from the already registered clearance cairn. For next project, tar pits, charcoal tar used to protect wood from rot and moisture, and on boats to prevent water leaking in. Just to explain what tar is. So this is a little different because this one, so we didn't have as much training data or already registered tar pits. Cecilia, you found 10 of those. So we could train a model on 10 and it would do very well on those, but it would not be able to generalize to find new ones. But since the LiDAR data is sort of one-dimensional, if I may say so, we could easily manipulate the data and create synthetic tar pits, since Cecilia could describe how they look very well, and we can understand, okay, this is the pattern. So we painted out tar pits and try to do as many as possible with as much variations as possible, because that's also something you want when you train an AI. You want the variation of the population to have the best training data set. And we simply burn in those synthetic tar pits into the LiDAR data. So we have a process where we created this training data set with the sample, if you remember. We sampled the real world LiDAR data images, and there should be no tar pits in those. And we created the synthetic tar pits. Also, they occur often in slopes, something Cecilia also taught us. So we want a synthetic slope as well in the image. And for make even more variation without human interference, we applied random adjustments like gain, it's how steep they should be, gradient, how if they should tilt. 1 minute, okay. And we burned into the tar pits in the LiDAR data, and we created a training data set. here we simply use the CMA annotation process again, and in some time we got a model that was good enough, and this is the results in the field. We got a model that find what looks real much like tar pits, and we also find stuff that obviously not tar pits, like connection river or ditches connected to roads, but stuff like that we filter out with other mechanism. And next one. Okay.
Snabbt.
Very quick. We're discussing to leave this PowerPoint out the other day, but in that moment I had an email that the annotations were finished by a guy at the regional museum. So we will continue with the house foundations from the Iron Age any week. I think it's like 100 or 200 annotations, so it will be interesting. I think our time is out. Questions?